Are we giving out our picks today?
That is some solid music.
I love that song.
You know,
Starts it out good.
and I got to be honest, that kind of leads in Pebble Beach. Kind of, I got to get a sense of Hollywood and all the pomp and circumstance out there, and that music kind of fits right in with that Bill Murray type stuff. So I'm really liking that so much. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fantasy Golf TV. My name is Jeff Deal. I'm your host. We have some special hosts here, guest host, Gene Weldon down the end, one of my favorite friends on the beach, and obviously everybody knows Jimmy Biggs from Crow Creek.
Everybody knows Jimmy Biggs.
That's not what he said before the show started, Gene. It was much more graphic, but we'll just leave that. We'll let the viewers check that out later.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we are here to help everybody with their fantasy teams. Hopefully everybody did well. We helped everybody out last week with Gene and I were on the show, and we really had some good insight. And we got off track a little bit because Tiger Woods will get you off track talking about glutes and everything. But we're here to help
Mine are
you.
deactivated.
Mine are too.
Mine are deactivated too. That's awesome.
He won't live that one down anytime soon.
The funny thing is, you and I played on Wednesday, and we were tigering it out there, right? Somebody missed a chip, and what'd you say?
Did you ever think you'd hear somebody hit a bad shot and somebody in the group say, "Boy, you really tigered that one"?
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
That's best short game in the world
Yeah,
ever.
absolutely.
Did you
Gone.
play Wednesday?
I did not play Wednesday. I was actually on my way up to the DC show.
Oh, you went to
DC
the
golf
DC show. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. North Coast Golf Shows.
Correct.
All right,
That's
good
it.
You going to Philadelphia?
I am not going to Philadelphia.
Neither am I.
Well, I was told that you told them I was going. I said, how am I going to do that?
I don't know. You said you were.
No.
You're going to try.
No.
I have officially retired, guys.
Yeah.
I'm done.
He's
Yeah,
done. Yeah,
I'm done.
lucky.
Anyway,
Anyway,
listen. Just to let everybody know, last week Jason Day had a great week. Great playoff, exciting playoff.
Yes, he did.
And
Everybody have him?
I had him.
I did.
I did.
Yeah, I think everybody in this hemisphere did.
Well, as soon as I walked,
Easy pick, huh?
Yeah.
I listen to Fantasy Golf TV.
Yeah, exactly.
well, we all said we're going to put him on our team. I think. I mean, I know I did. You said.
Oh,
you
yeah,
were.
I had him.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but it's the other guys too.
Yeah, you got to.
So
Got to have the
and
rest.
I'm going to bring it up now. I went from 7th to 3rd place, so I'm in pretty good shape. Spray and Pray is leading our league right now.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that one for a little bit?
But sure, yeah.
You remember who was leading? Two off the first tee?
Two off the first
Yeah.
tee.
You remember what I said?
You did.
Yeah, what I say?
You said that he
He'd
was going
come
to
back to
forget.
earth. Yeah, he had a real whopping 140 week or
But he
130
didn't.
something.
He didn't
maybe.
forget to pick a team. You said he would
No.
eventually forget to pick his team.
Hey, listen, he picked good players.
Okay.
He just didn't play them in the right spots. And Spray
Well-
and Pray,
That's.
he's got that name for a reason, okay?
I think that's.
I don't know that. Who is that guy?
One of the guys from Florida.
Okay.
That's a very
No,
important.
he's good. He's good. I'm just giving him a hard time.
What Gene just brought up is very important for this week. It was last week at Torrey Pines, but whenever you have multiple venues, Jeff, it's really important to check out which course is playing easier. And last week, obviously, it was the North Course, and I got lucky that first day to have 3 guys who shot the low round of the day. So I had almost 60 points. Anytime you can get 60 points in a day,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good thing.
Yes, I'll
so
take 50.
It's definitely important here, at Pebble at the AT&T because they play 3 different courses. So
Well, you're right, and we talked about they're not playing long. None of them.
by
are.
tour
also
by
under
tour
7,000.
standards, they're very short.
Yeah, not overly long. Pebble Beach plays 6,800. It's a par 72. Spyglass. It's the longer of the 3. Plays 6,900. And then Monterey Peninsula Country Club. That plays 6,800. So again, not a Bombers course.
No.
Guys like, although you think Bombers
win on it, though.
Bombers win on it. I
Dustin.
mean, Dustin Johnson took 2010 and 11. I think he won, right? 2010 and 11, I think.
Yeah, he
I
won
have it somewhere in this
somewhere
mess,
in there. Yeah,
Who won last year?
Jimmy Walker,
Jimmy Walker won it last year.
Ah,
Yes.
Balmer.
Brant Snedeker.
Yeah.
Year
Not a
before
bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he made everything on the world that week.
That's when he wins.
Yeah. I want to say it was what was it, DA points the year before that?
Just to give them a heads up, if they're, Spyglass is the toughest. Remember that when you're watching who you pick.
Right.
Spyglass is the toughest golf course out there.
Are the pairings out yet? It's
No,
a
not
pro-am,
yet.
and that's the thing. They come out just like when we do the MAM.
Wednesday, yeah.
We don't even know the celebrities that are coming into town until like a night before. I get the pairings list at 5:30 in the morning, the day of the event. At my now, I'm not a
Which
I'm
is
not a
always
PGA
fun.
Tour
Yeah.
sanctioned event, but still though, it's that's a nightmare when
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah, that's
run a
good.
facility and
Yeah.
having 232 people on your golf course.
Good luck sleeping that on Sunday night at the Masters.
That's something.
Right.
The Masters. I watch the Masters after that. I watch it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a week later in my DVR. I'm so busy that
Don't
week.
tell me.
But
That's one thing we hadn't talked about, too. If you go to either the golfchannel.com or PGAtour.com, you can actually build your own leaderboard with your players, so you don't have to search around.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
they're always lead time ahead of Yahoo by a hole or two.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That
so-
really is. That's good to know. Well, obviously, storylines are Dustin Johnson. He's back-to-back winner 2009 and 2010. I knew I had it here. As soon as I walked in the office today, we were talking in the back about the venue, and here we're talking about the venue, how you pick. Jimmy, I think you said it with what you did last week. You know that pairings are going to be on the easier course. But what I also talked about, and they're in our league in the back, and they're trying to pick my brain on who I'm picking. But it's funny how I'm looking at it as pairings as well. Guys like Patrick Reed, they're kind of on the cuff in their brain about they don't like playing with hackers. Although he did just recently play with Tiger,
a good point.
who was pretty much a hacker.
Yeah, but
he put up with that. So
but he shot 70. It wasn't like he lit up the course. I mean,
No.
he barely chewed off much. But I don't particularly play well in the rain either, and I think history will show Tiger doesn't play very well in the rain, and
Right.
that didn't necessarily help his chances.
no,
shooting
I'm
82.
just kidding.
Yeah.
But I think it is important. Justin gets to play with his future father-in-law. But there's that other couple of mid to high handicappers that are part of the sponsors that you just never know. So I look at that. I look at, before I set my team, I'll try to check that pairings list and see who's going to be played with what, and I think that's important for you to set your team.
It is. I think that's a little hard to track. I just go by past performance there because they normally play with the same guys.
Right.
That's kind of it would be a death wish for Dustin not to invite his future father-in-law.
Well, there is a lot of storylines. Look at Hunter Mahan just had a baby, right? But
Yeah.
did he have the baby yet?
Yes, he
I
had it
think
last week.
Last week. So he just
I
had
think
the
his
baby.
So
wife
you
did.
know he
So-
hasn't slept a wink.
It's right. It's his second, but that's an exciting time in anybody's life, and it's a great event, though. I mean, ATT Pebble Beach. What's it called? It used to be called. You remember
Clam bake.
the clam bake, right? Yeah, the clam bake. That was awesome.
Yep.
And some
the old
people-
man would know that.
Right. The
Yeah,
old Crosby
okay.
clam bake. It was called. So that was good stuff.
I was negative 7 years old back then. I don't know.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna be -7 on your picks this week too.
we don't have much time. We got.
All right, let's go with who you picking.
I love it. Who we picking? Okay. I
I'm
can
writing
bring
yours down because you lied to me.
I will
last
tell
week.
you, Jim-
Freddie Jacobson. Yeah, give me a hard time and
Yeah.
send me a text. Hey, look at what Freddie shot. You can't talk about him if you don't pick him.
But
Okay.
he was on my team, but I didn't start him. But watch him; he's going to be a good one. And I'm going to give you one more right now
for this
One-
week.
For this week, Ian Poulter. Put him on your team.
Interesting.
No.
Let me tell you a quick Ian Poulter thing.
No.
Okay. Listen, there was an article. The AP writer wrote something real quick the other day about him. He looked at stats. Everybody thinks he's a great putter, right? He had 5 birdies in a row in the Ryder Cup. He was 147 in putting
Yep.
from 10 footers. From proximity to the hole, stats, he was 147. So he looked at that and he says, okay, around me with all my stats, same driving distance, same greens and regulation stats, who's around me? There was one guy on tour that was around him. He won $3 million more than him last year. And he is determined. And he's been working on his putting for 2 months now. And you watch Ian Poulter.
Uh,
A little
I
inside
will watch
story.
him. I won't pick him, but I will
I'm
watch
I'm
him.
going to agree with Gene on that one. Poana greens make it a little difficult for everybody, and As soon as I don't know. Poulter seems kind of like a whiny guy to me. Sorry, Ian. I love your trousers, bud.
Y'all
but,
dress
I
alike.
I
dare
don't
you
think,
to, as a PGA professional, I dare you to tweet that.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get reprimanded, me and Bishop, but I just don't think he's gonna. It's tough putting on those greens.
I agree.
On the West Coast, and I just don't see. Even if he is working on his putting, you can be putting great. I.e., Jimmy Walker last week, and he missed at least 3 putts inside 5 feet, which
Yeah.
never happens. So I'm going to stay away from Ian on that one. The one thing I can't point out, I can tell everybody, I was looking it over today and just looking at the past winners, and we were just talking about it a minute ago, Jeff. You mentioned it, Dustin winning 2 of them. But the people who win this tournament, with the exception of DA Points a couple of years ago, the chalk wins this tournament. So I'm picking a lot of chalk players this week. Not necessarily. I saw a few form guys that I liked, but I'm picking a lot of chalk players. A lot of guys who are just no-brainers. Ryan Palmer's been lights out for the last few weeks. Hasn't really broke through with a win yet. Jimmy Walker, obviously Jason Day. I do have Hunter Mahan down. It just depends what courses they're playing on, what day. Obviously, I'm going to try to get everybody when they're on Monterey Peninsula, but if I can't, I want to stay away from Spyglass as much as I can. Patrick Reed, we don't know what he's going to do.
I like Patrick too. I all those names you said. Jason Day coming off the win. I
Sure.
think he's strong.
Still a good player.
He's
an elite player.
He is, and I gave myself a top 5. I've already picked my team, but just like every week, I tweak it as we go, and I have Jimmy Walker number 1. I mean, he's the first guy I put on my
Yep.
team.
Yep, me
Jason
too.
Day was number 2. Patrick Reed again. Jordan Spieth. He had a bad week. I'm gonna throw him a bone on that one. I think it was an anomaly. I just it was kind of his first tournament out, from the fall. So I think I'm going to throw him that bone. He got a bad week. He's
He
going to
won
come
the
back.
Australian. I
You
mean,
won the Australian. He played well. He did play well last
He was
year.
on form.
That's
coming
true.
in.
I'm talking in the States, though. It was, he just got into town.
lag still got
he
him?
just got into town, so to speak,
Yeah.
and so, that's, hey, welcome back. You played so well when you were on the other side of the country.
Oh, he won Tigers tournament
And,
too.
I got a semi-dark horse for you.
Okay.
Anybody looking at Watney?
He's not a dark horse. He's on my team.
No, he's not a dark horse.
Yeah.
Actually,
I said semi.
He's an alternate on my team. I'm
He's
kidding
on my
about
team.
it.
He fixed something. I mean, last year had a bad year. He fixed something. I don't know what he was working on. Nobody's talking about it.
New equipment.
But here's my team, guys. And
Yeah, here's his team
Yeah,
for
here's
now.
his team,
For
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, how many will be on it
Yeah.
come
yeah.
Thursday morning? 3?
There is Nick Watney starting.
Yeah,
So,
there he is.
that is-
Well, I don't have
For now.
I don't know.
I have almost
no idea
identical.
who's starting because I don't know which course they're playing yet.
Sure, sure.
But he's on my team,
Mhm.
and I won't take him off. Not like you would, Freddie. I'll play him at some point.
Well, I also look at, to me, I don't want to call it. I mentioned Hollywood. I mentioned all the pomp and circumstances that the players have to deal with this week. It's the last time to have some fun. They're going to have a blast out there, and they do. And obviously, it's a PGA sanctioned event. They get FedEx Cup points, but when they get that Florida swing next week, when they come to Florida, that's when game is on. And I think that's when they put their blinders on and they really start playing for those FedEx Cup points. This is the last it. So let's have some fun. Let's look at some of those lesser. No, go
Let's
ahead.
go down to the other. Well, if we're going to lesser players, is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? Who's your? Yeah, everybody's talking Reed. Is that somebody on your team, Jimmy?
I do have Patrick Reed.
Okay, and
Like I said, I went with
Jeff,
a lot
you
of
got
chalk
him?
players.
I do.
Who's your other?
Patrick
C.
Reed is starting right now.
Who's your other C player?
We talked about when I came in. Pat Perez is a D player for me. He's having a lot of fun. I follow him on Facebook. Man, he's having a blast. Like we talked about some guys last week. He's everywhere. He's driving sponsors' cars, and he just got one gifted to him. He's just having a blast. He's at the beach. He's at the bars at night. So I don't pick him to win, but I think I like him to have some fun out there, to have some fun with the crowd, and that's going to help you play well in that type of venue. 6-hour rounds you're dealing with. I think you have to have that mentality to adjust to that. If you're blinders on and you want to play well, that's not the venue to play well in. if that's what you want to do. You gotta expect to have some fun, and I think that's important. Who you're going to pick. So look at mentalities of guys too.
I like Kevin Na.
Kevin Na, he is he came in. He's T4 last year, so he came in fourth. He's solid. He is.
Again,
Yep.
I just
He's a good pick.
Not a guy you pick to win, but a guy you
No,
pick to play well. He might.
I've got 3 guys on my team, maybe 4 that I think can win the golf tournament.
Yeah.
The others, no, they won't.
Right.
I like JB this week
I'll tell you.
for my other A player.
I was just going to
JB
say,
Holmes.
out of the A squad's pretty slim pickings this year, or this week.
It
got
is.
6
It's
people.
very thin. Yeah.
What
very
about it?
thin.
What about a Jimmy Furyk on that one? I mean, first start of the season.
Yeah. Is his back sound?
I don't know. That's
You know,
why
he's
I'm asking you
listen.
guys.
He comes to MAM every year. He comes to the Die Club, and I like the fact that he can have some fun with folks. So he
Yeah.
might be a good pick. He might have that mentality.
I think there are other tournaments. Furyk is a steady player during the season, and you better hold on to all his plays.
He seems stoic on air, but he is a lot of fun.
He is.
and
Right.
He's a blast, and he gets it in with the crowd, and also his wife loves it. He brings his wife along, and they have a blast. So
I'm going to give him a start this week. I know that. I think.
we-
I don't
Soon
think
you'll
he's
know.
ever going to do anything wrong.
Have we talked about the Big D yet? Anybody going with Dustin?
I'm going to pass on Dustin.
I'm not ready yet.
yeah,
I'm taking him.
You are.
I'm taking him.
Well, folks, there you go. From Gene Weldon.
there it is.
Put him on your team.
You're going to be sad if you don't. Write that one down for next week.
The list of B players is strong.
Yes,
and,
yes, it is. I mean,
you can go with a lot of these top guys.
the
and-
first
Chris Kirk.
15 guys, you can pick any one of them easy.
You
Yeah.
got Chris Kirk on your team?
I don't have Chris Kirk on my team. No, he's been the most inconsistent player on the tour this
I'm
year.
going to pass some of you guys this week. I can tell that right now.
Oh,
Really?
well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I will tell you that I'm probably going to change some of these. I like I talked about with having fun. The Kevin Nas, I'm not sure about that mentality and his personality, but like I said, I think it's the last time to have some fun. Next week, I think we start going with some bigger guns and look to win the first segment. We're in what is this segment? Winter segment.
The winter segment,
Week
yeah.
6,
Yeah.
right? So it's only 12-week segment.
Right.
So
we're
we're
at the
in
halfway point here, aren't we?
We're at the halfway point. So, and I'm third. I want to be first. So I'm planning that right now as we sit here, and give these folks some ideas on what to do.
Well, if you look at it right now, I'm in 9th spot out of 30 on our fantasy, and I'm at 885, I believe, and the lead is at 938. What's that, 53 points? You can do that in one
Absolutely.
week. Easy 1 week.
I'm getting somebody waving from the glass here, Jeff, and we have a couple. We have a call coming in. All right, who's on the line? Can you hear
Gene
us?
Weldon, this is the Godfather. What are you smoking?
The Godfather. We can't beat him. Oh wait. a minute.
Write it down, Godfather. Just write it down. You can have at me next week.
Let's bring up his team.
Yeah.
Oh, he started late. We'll cut him some
We'll
slack.
cut him some slack. Yeah.
Oh,
As
he
put in-
started late.
How are you, Godfather?
I'm doing well. How's everyone?
Things are good. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, what about Harris English? Anybody considering him?
Well, I don't think he's playing this
If
week.
he was
Yeah, he
is
I'll
not
play
playing.
him, Godfather.
No, he is not in this week.
Okay, well, that's a shame.
Yeah,
He
he
would
is
be a
not
strong
playing.
pick.
He's heading down to Florida to practice for the
Good
Honda.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this could be a good week for Jimmy Walker to go ahead and pick up his second win.
Yeah, he's due over there.
I've
That's
got-
for sure.
I
He's
wouldn't be surprised.
I've got Jimmy. I like him. He's
yeah,
good,
he's strong.
good player.
He's
But I do
definitely
want
got
you to
that mentality. You're over 3 courses over 4 days, and he's got that mentality. He can take it from course to course to course.
Well, you're a man with knowledge. What are your thoughts on Dustin, if you don't mind me asking that? I mean,
He's
everybody's
already told you he thought I was smoking something to pick him.
But I mean, can you expand on that? Because I'm curious. He's still on the cuff. I'm still on the fence with him, and I just needed. Obviously, you're a smart guy when it comes to these guys, and I'd like to know your opinion on him.
Dustin's got his ball striking in order. He just needs to get back in the touch category with his the short game and his putter.
Okay.
He hasn't been playing tournament golf. He's been going out and at Sherwood or wherever he's been playing and shooting
Sure, yeah.
61. But that's with how many gimmies, 3-footers and things like that. So I just think under tournament conditions, he just needs to get on that short game. And again, you look for him at, say, like a Doral at Trump. He would be strong there with his length and, a little bit wider fairways. And then, you gotta wonder if he's going to be back in shape for Augusta. So
I like that. And Jimmy said it right, too. Jimmy was talking about the grass, the POA, and if you're not on your game,
It's not a good
it's
surface
not
to
a
get your
good
game
surface.
back.
It is difficult.
It'll make
so.
you think twice about your be confident with your stroke. I mean, we were talking about it on a show yesterday. You can't make a confident stroke when you're thinking that, oh man, this might hop, or is it going to hop, or how
Right.
much is going to hop. So
Right.
it's tough to get your putter back on these greens. Now, if you're playing, if you are playing bent grass or the finest Bermudas around here, then it's a little easier to make a good stroke. But Poana just bounces all over the place. Tough to deal with.
And another point too, guys, it's they're playing over 54 holes, and each of those greens are not going to have the same type of quote unquote grain, grass blade, things of that sort. I mean, they're all Poana, but there's going to be different types of speed and softness and things of that sort. And for a guy may be hot on Spyglass, but he may be cold at Pebble. So
Right.
You have to factor that in. That's where someone like a Jimmy Walker is just going to be consistent, steady. He's going to roll the putts. He's going to play for the 2-putt, and he's going to let his length and his iron play come into play.
Right.
And that's why he would be a good pick for a defense. So,
Well, folks,
that's just my thoughts.
thank you, Godfather, for calling in. I appreciate it.
And remember to call back next week.
Yeah.
You can either jump on me or I'll lay
Gene,
it on
you got a
you.
new shipment coming in that you're going to light up next week, or what?
No, I just want to talk about Dustin next week after he plays well.
Well, I enjoy the show, guys. Keep up the good work.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Godfather.
Guys, folks, you can tweet us on Twitter at fantasygolf.com, facebook.com/fantasygolftv, and check us out. Visit us at fantasygolftv.com. We're running out of time, so give me one guy. One guy each of you.
I'm going to go with
And this is I need a winner. This is not going on any team. Who's going to win?
who's going to win it?
Who's going to win it?
Nick Watney.
Nick Watney. Okay.
Sneds.
That's my guy.
Sned.
That's my guy, man. I'm
Oh.
telling you. That's my guy. He's on my team. You guys saw
I
it.
didn't
so.
even mention him. This is the first time you've said his name, and
That's
y'all
what we're-
both
that's
got
what
him.
we're finishing
and,
off
and
with.
you both pick him to win.
Gene, this is a money league. It's a limited information show. No, I'm just kidding, folks. We're going to give you all the information.
Is Jacobson
we
playing
just
this week?
Yeah.
he is. No, but Ian Poulter is going to be on my team, too.
Oh,
Fantasy
let
Golf,
me write that
radio,
one
and
down.
TV, guys. They are produced and broadcast by Zeus Radio Network for your golfdirector.com, thegolfdirector.com. Visit us. When visiting the Golf Director, navigate over to our featured golf course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Call Dave. He's readily available, 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-GO-GOLF-1. He's waiting for your call now at 844-464-6531. All of our Golf Director programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand, folks. So to catch up on shows you have missed, click on the TGD Radio and TGD TV tabs at the menu of the golfdirector.com. My name is Jeff Deal. I'm your host, Jimmy Biggs. Thanks for coming. Gene Weldon,
Wouldn't miss it.
the experts in Fantasy Golf TV. Thanks, folks, and stay tuned for more shows on the Golf Director and Golf News coming up. Bye-bye.